Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Seoparjoo from University of Science Malaysia, School of Medical Sciences. So today I'm going to talk about some basic concept just to explain you the basic or the normal anatomy of layers of blood vessels. So to help me to demonstrate this topic, I make a cylinder out of paper, some colorful paper, just to help me to demonstrate and make you more understand regarding the anatomy of a blood vessels. So bear in mind that this is just a models. Okay, so first, so this should be your blood vessel. So is a longitudinal like this, and then had been cut in the proximal lane. So this part here, so you can see the hollow structure, just as similar as a blood vessels like this. Okay, so we are going to cut longitudinally so that we can see the layers of the blood vessels in a more detailed and a more uh, nicely manner. So first we can make a longitudinal cut along the blood vessels, these blood vessels. So blood vessels actually consist of a few layers of tissue. The innermost is the tunica intima, and then the middle part is the tunica media, and the outermost part is the tunica adventitia. So each of these layers contain a few structures. There are differences between each layer. For the tunica intima, within it is the endothelium. The endothelium lines the innermost part of the blood vessels. So it's actually just a simple squamous epithelium lining that lines the innermost part of the blood vessel, or basically the towards the lumens of the blood vessels. And then apart from that, it has also basal lamina, the structure that supports the endothelial layer, and also subendothelial layer, which contains some connective tissue that also support the endothelial layer. And also within the tunica intima, there is also internal elastic membrane that help in the blood vessels to maintain its structure. It can stretch and contract easily. The next layer, or the middle part of the middle layer of the blood vessels, is the tunica media. So within this tunica media, there is a circumferentially arranged smooth muscle, and also external elastic membrane. So these smooth muscles acts as a to control the pressure within the blood vessel. So for example, if the body requires to increase the blood pressure, so this muscle will contract and increase the pressure within the blood vessels to increase in the blood pressure as a whole. So this in case is, for example, in the case of sepsis or shock, where the blood volume is very is reduced. So in order to increase the blood pressure, so this muscle will try to contract and increase the blood pressure within the blood vessels. Okay, and the outermost part of the blood vessel layer is the tunica adventitia. So within this layer, there is a lot of collagenous tissue and also elastic fibers. So these collagenous tissue and elastic fibers act as a supportive tissue to help in support the integrity of the shapes of the blood vessels. And within in some instances, for example in the large arteries and also veins, you can see vasa vasorum and also nervi vascularis. Vasa vasorum is basically is just another blood vessel. So these large vessels, for example, arteries and also veins, require additional blood supplies toward the outermost surface of the layers, because of the thickness of this vessel's wall. So sometimes oxygen does not or nutrients does not is unable to reach the outermost layer of the blood vessel, so they require additional blood supply. So in this case, the vasa vasorum is the additional blood vessels that supply this outermost part of the blood vessels. For the nervi vascularis is actually just nerve nerves that supply blood vessels for large blood vessels. So this nerve is important to control the contraction of the smooth muscle within the tunica media. So if for example in parasympathetic and sympathetic nerve plexus, so this nerve plexus will innervates these large arteries and also veins, and it helps in control the blood pressure within the arteries and also the veins. So that's about it. So just a recap, blood vessel should be like this one, cylindrical in shapes. We cut longitudinally, and then we can see 3 layers of the blood vessels: innermost, middle part, and this outermost. And remember, the innermost is tunica media. Sorry, the innermost is tunica intima, the middle part is tunica media, and the outer part is the tunica adventitia. And by that, I'm Dr. Seoparjoo. Thank you, and have a nice day.